Fine. Hi, guys. Welcome to Consult 101, Module 2, Recorded Guesstimate section from the Case Club IIT Madras. I hope you already know me by now, so let's skip my introduction and let's move on to the introduction of our mentor today, Prashant Ravula. Hi, guy. Hi, man.
Yeah. Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Hi
So
Harish.
again, you probably you probably know him, but let's just revisit his introduction. So this guy is like a real star in Insti. He got a day one intern at ITC. He was the Shastra sponsor in PR core, and he landed a placement offer at BCG. So yeah, he'll be recording a guesstimate with us today. And as usual, we'll be trying to replicate an interview room as much as possible. So pay attention to specific points, namely, pay attention to the preliminary questions he's asking, structure, how he's trying to be messy, how he's keeping me in the loop. So pay attention. I'll be highlighting these points again towards the end of the guest. One more thing, there's a mini casebook attached from our case club in the YouTube link. So open it on a device which you're not using right now and go to the guesstimate that we'll be solving. See the structure, try to match it up while Ravula is speaking. This will help you a lot. Just listening won't help. Try pausing the video, thinking on your own, and then see what structure did Ravula propose. This is what is really going to help you build a structured thought process. So with that being said, let's start. So yeah, let's start interview room trial. So
Yeah.
hi Ravula, how are you?
Yeah. Hi Harish.
Yeah. So how are you?
Yeah, I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So where do you come from, Ravula?
I'm from Hyderabad.
Okay, Hyderabad. So, what is normally the temperature there? Weather?
It yeah. So it's mostly warm climate. It ranges
Uh,
between 25 to 35 in regular.
okay.
Yeah.
So, do you feel the need of using a heater or a geyser or something?
No. Even I think in winters, we do use geysers, but there's no heater used. I think in most parts of Hyderabad.
Okay. So, this will be interesting then. Let's move on to something challenging. So, could you kind of guesstimate for me the number of heaters sold in India every year?
Okay. So you want me to estimate the number of heaters sold in India every year, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So just a few clarifying questions before I get into the estimation. So I want to know
Sure.
by heaters, what exactly do you mean in type of heaters? It could be like room heaters, as we know, and there are also you mentioned geysers or water heaters, and there are also different heaters as we see in cars or any other places like that.
No. So, we're just looking at room heaters.
All right. Okay. So the room heaters that most people use in their house, right?
Right.
Okay. So continuing from that, I also want to understand if we are looking at the heaters that are sold for the regular Indian consumers, or are we looking at the commercial usage or people that use large heaters in their offices?
No, I think let's not make it that complicated. Let's just stick to consumer.
Okay. Yeah. And the final question that I wanted to ask, when you're considering number of heaters sold, are we looking at only the first hand sales, or are we looking at any second hand market also?
No, we can chuck second hand.
Okay, got it. So we are based on what I understand, we're looking at the regular residential room heaters that most people use in their houses, and we want to estimate the number of such heaters sold in India every year, right?
Next.
Okay, yeah. So let me just take a minute to think and like figure out how I'll approach this estimate. Okay.
Of course, take it.
Okay. Yeah. So to estimate the number of heaters sold per year, how I plan to go about this is I want to first estimate the number of heaters that are owned in India currently overall, and then I will multiply this number by the growth rate per year that we expect for the heaters, and then I would multiply this by the replacement rate. I would add the replacement rate. Growth rate plus replacement rate would be the change per year that we see in the number of heaters, and that would be the extra number of heaters sold per year. Okay, does this sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so first I'll start off by estimating the number of heaters owned currently in India. Okay. So to do this, I would like to take the population of India, and then I would like to split it into two parts mainly. One where you would ideally find the need for a heater. Okay, these would be states in the northern region mainly of India, like Jammu and Kashmir or Haryana, Punjab, Delhi, and northeastern states. Okay, so I estimate roughly the area of these, the geographical area of these states, I think would be around 25% of India. Does that sound right? Yeah, but also accounting for the fact that the northeastern states are not that densely populated, and even Jammu Kashmir to some extent are not that densely populated. I'm going to assume roughly 20% of Indian population would be in the need of a heater. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And the remaining 80%, there would be very rare cases that people would use a heater, but I think it would be negligible when compared to the people who actually need the heater in their daily lives. So is it fine if I ignore the rest?
Yes, you can neglect them.
Sure. Okay, so now if we take 20% of India's population, I'm taking India's population as 125 crores for ease of calculation. That's right. That's fine, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So that would come out to be roughly 25 crores of Indian population that would be potentially in the need of a heater, right?
Okay.
So now I'm going to split this entire population into urban and rural households. Okay. So I'm going to take 30% of this population would be in urban areas, and 70% of the other population would be in rural areas. And I'm also going to consider the number of heaters per household, because it's not an individual product, and it would be mostly used in a household situation.
Correct.
So the average household size in urban areas is around four individuals per household, and I think in rural areas it's slightly higher. So I'll take an average household size of 5 in rural areas.
5.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so calculating these values, with 25 crores of population, 30% of it is in urban areas, which is 7.5 crores, and converting that into household, that would give me around roughly around 1.875 or 1.9 crore households.
Take 2.
Okay, I'll take 2 crore households that are there in the urban areas of such regions where heaters are needed. And then coming to the rural areas, the remaining 70% of 25 crores would be 17.5. Yeah, and dividing by 5, it would give me 3.5 crore households in rural areas.
Correct.
Okay, so I think in these areas, the heater is more like a necessity. So and as long as people can afford it, I think they would buy it and come. And as far as I know, the regular room heaters cost anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000, so they're not that expensive as well.
Okay.
Okay, I'm assuming that's right. That's fine.
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So based on these assumptions, I would feel that I would now classify this entire population in urban and rural areas into income classes, and then I would like to calculate how many heaters each income class would have would own in each household. Okay.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So for that, I'll first try to calculate number of households according to each income class. Okay. So to do that, in urban areas, I'm going to take 4 income classes: the upper class, upper middle class, and lower class.
Okay. Makes sense.
And in upper, and the distribution of households in these particular income classes, I would take as 10% of people of households are in upper class in urban areas, and 20% in upper middle class, 40% in middle class, and 30% in lower class. Right?
Makes sense. Good.
Okay. And coming to rural areas, our split will be a little different. So I'll be taking around 5% households are in upper class, 30% are in 30%. Sorry, 20% are in upper middle class, 30% are in middle class, and 45% in lower class. Because the average income is lower in rural areas when compared to urban areas. This is why I'm considering a difference.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So to estimate the number of heaters that each income class would hold, I would say upper middle class could upper class could afford heaters in almost most of the rooms. That is roughly anywhere between 2 to 4 rooms that they would own. So I'm going to take an average of 3 heaters.
3.
Does it make sense? 3 heaters per household who are in upper class. In upper middle class,
so you're taking 3 heaters per household in the upper class of urban section.
Yeah, I think
right?
so. Yeah, so that will be 3 heaters in upper class in urban section as well as rural section, because I'm taking the same income classes, and also because, as I mentioned, it's sort of a necessity in these areas to have room heaters. So yeah, and coming to the upper middle class, it can be anywhere between 1 to 2 or maybe even 3. So can I take an average of 1.5 for ease of calculation?
In the upper middle class. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and for the middle class, I'll take an average of 1. There are some people who might not have, or some people with smaller homes who would need only 1 heater.
Right.
Okay, and I'm going to assume that the lower class would not be able to afford, and usually what the lower class population does in these areas.
You can neglect them.
Yeah,
you can neglect.
Okay. So now to calculate, now I'll just take a minute to calculate the overall number that I'll get in each of these cases. So in urban areas, there are 3 heaters for 10% of the households. That will give me a combined number of around 0.3. And for upper middle class, it's 1.5 into 20%, which is again around 0.3.
Okay.
And for middle class, that's 1 into 0.4, which is 0.4. The sum would give me 1. So 2 crore. So it's actually 2 crore heaters that are being that are owned in the urban regions.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 crores.
Okay, and for the rural areas, it's 3 heaters into 5%, which is 0.15, and 1.5 heaters for upper middle class into 20%, which will give me 0.3, and 1 heater on average for 30% of the households, which will give me again 0.3. The sum of these would give me 0.75. Okay, and we calculated the total number of households in rural areas to be 3.5 crores. So 3.5 into 0.75 would give me roughly around.
Let's say something around 2.5.
Yeah, 2.625 or around 2.5 crores. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the total heaters that are owned in India currently, we can estimate it to be around 4.5 crores. Okay, give or take. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So now I'll move on to the next part. Now we need to find how many heaters are sold in India per year. These are currently the ones that are owned. Okay, and now we need to look at a potential growth rate for the heaters, and also we need to take into consideration the replacement rate. Okay. So I'll start off with the growth rate. I think the way we can look at growth rate is India's population is increasing, I think, roughly by 1% every year. So that would contribute to the growth rate. But I think there's also the case, like due to global warming, we can say that there will be a reduced need every year going forward. I think that we can account to, I think, 2%. It's not a large number, but I think that can be considered, and I feel it would be it would be reducing the need of heaters would be reducing every year.
Makes
Because
sense.
India is
Makes
not
sense.
that cold, so it's slowly changing. So I think the growth rate is roughly around -1%. And now looking at the replacement rate, the way I'll calculate replacement rate is I'm going to take the average lifespan of a heater, of a room heater. Okay, and then I would calculate. I'll calculate every year how many heaters out of these 4.5 crores would be need to be replaced based on that, based on the average lifespan. So to my knowledge, I think heaters. I think the average lifespan of a heater is around 10 years, based on my knowledge of what heaters are.
They're very durable. You can take that.
Yeah, so they're roughly 10 years. So roughly 10% of the existing number of heaters would be replaced every year going forward.
Correct.
Okay, so the replacement rate would be around 10%. Okay, so now growth rate plus replacement rate gives me around 9%. Growth rate being -1 and replacement rate being 10. So yeah, so taking 4.5 crore into 9% would be, I mean, okay, let's just take 10% for ease of calculation.
Something around 40 lakhs.
Yeah, something around 40 to 45 lakhs. Yeah, around 40 lakhs would be what I estimate the total number of heaters would be that are sold in India in the coming year.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what I expected. So nice solving. So for our viewers now, I would like to highlight some positive points. In an actual interview, the interview gives feedback, but I cannot give feedback to someone like Ravula, so I'll just highlight the positive points. So if you see the preliminary questions he asked, he exactly tried to understand what the interviewer is expecting. He understood what exactly is meant by a heater. So if faced with a similar problem in, let's say, inside the interview room, don't think that your questions are silly. Clarify everything, the tiniest of the doubts you have with your interviewer. Even though a heater is a simple word, he still clarified that yeah, a heater means a room heater and not a geyser. So look at that. Understand what exactly the interviewer wants. Next point I would like to highlight is the excellent structure that he used. He was messy throughout the interview. Messy, as you already know, is mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. He missed no point, basically. Right from urban and rural, he covered all the income segments. And he not only did he cover them, but he also explained the logic behind them, the logic behind the split. This demographic split is something that you must know before the interview, and the casebook that we'll be sharing with you will cover such demographic split. So it's better that you memorize them. Next, last thing, throughout the interview he was speaking, he kept me in the loop, so I exactly knew what his thought process was. So that is something which is very important. Otherwise, imagine he's on his screens solving something, I do not know anything. It's very important to keep the interview in loop. So over to you, Ravula. Would you like to add any valuable points for our viewers?
Okay. Yeah, what I would say is, when given such guesstimates, try to understand from the end consumer point, like who is that person, why they would need this particular product, and I think your structure would build itself, right? So in this case, you'll know a person from the cold region would necessarily need a heater, and then you look at different cases where whether he can afford it, and we can actually expand upon the current structure further. There is one thing I think I could have done extra, which is I feel with electricity penetration could have been included, which would have changed the number a bit, but I did not want to get it too complex with numbers. But this is something that can also be included if you want to do a deeper guesstimate, right? And yeah, so these are the points that I would say, like figure out why they would need this particular product. It applies to almost all guesstimates that you would solve, and then you will figure out how to drill down on each of these points based on what what you can imagine, right? You hear, for example, if you look at most guesstimate books, I think they would say income, age, gender, all of these are the factors that you need to drill down on. And if you follow by the book rote learning or something, you would waste time thinking whether age is, what should I do with age or what should I do with gender in this case. Whereas it clearly makes no sense for age versus or age or gender in this particular guesstimate, right? So once you figure out who exactly this product is for, you can automatically start drilling down your guesstimate to make it more simpler and clear.
Great. So yeah, that's what he meant. Think who the end consumer is. It could be any human being basically living in a cold region. Doesn't matter what is his gender, what is his age. That was a really good point. So thank you so much, Ravila. And to all our viewers, stay tuned. We have more recorded guesstimates on our YouTube channel. Go through them. And I would recommend this is exactly how you should be solving cases and guesstimates along with your friends or in your case. So stay tuned and we'll be back with more. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.